Welcome everyone. This episode of our Blender lecture series is all about making a lighthouse. Making a lighthouse is going to be pretty important in Blender because we are going to use this lighthouse in several different places. We're going to build upon it and add to it and make it so this lighthouse becomes a fixture of our projects from here on out. So the lighthouse is going to be important. Now to make a lighthouse, I'm going to follow a very similar pattern to what I did with the chess pawn. If you remember with the chess pawn, we didn't start with a cube. So I'm going to press X. Let's take a look at our shortcuts just to remind ourselves. Delete. Let's find it. Delete is X. X to delete. And now I'm going to press Shift A to create a circle. Oh, except I don't want my circle. I want my circle back in. Try that again. Circle. Now remember, as soon as we create that circle, we want to fill it. So as soon as that circle is there, I go down to Fill Type, and I select N-Gon. Now I've got a circle to start making my lighthouse with. So just like before, I'm going to use the front view to shape and extrude my lighthouse. So I can either go to View Front, or I can press number pad 1. And that gets me to my front view. Now what we're going to be making this is we're going to be extruding the circle upward. Then we're going to make a little balcony, and then extrude it upward again, and then we're going to learn about a new tool called the Merge tool to get our roof to be a single point. So let's give that a shot. Remember that we need to be in edit mode. Right now, if we look down here, I am in object mode. That's not going to fly. So I'm going to press Tab to get into edit mode, and now I'm going to use E to extrude my lighthouse upwards. And let's say my lighthouse is going to be about, that high. Now, lighthouses usually aren't just built straight up. Usually, lighthouses get a little smaller as they get towards the top. So now that I've made my lighthouse tall, I'm going to use S, right? Let's check our shortcuts. S to scale. And bring this lighthouse in just a little bit. So that's going to allow me to create kind of this tapered look for my lighthouse. Now our lighthouse is going to have a little balcony and then a little area for the light to go. So we need to create a flat balcony. Now normally we would do that by extruding, right, like we did with the chess pawn, and then scaling outward. But we have a problem. We end up with this little flare here. And we don't want a flare. We want to create a completely flat balcony. So how we create a completely flat balcony? Well, we actually need to create an extra set of vertices up here. We need to create one additional face for this to work. So I am going to press E to extrude, but then I'm immediately going to click. So I don't actually pull it anywhere. All right, I'll say that one more time. I'm going to press E to extrude, but I'm not actually going to move it. I'm just going to set this guy down. So I pressed E and I clicked. This creates an extra set of vertices for me to now expand outwards. So now if I scale, it's going to be completely flat. So I pressed S, I'm scaling out a little bit, and then I'm setting it down. Now to complete my platform, all I have to do is extrude up a little. Now we've got a good looking platform at the top of our lighthouse. So now we want to do the same problem in reverse. Now I want the platform to come back in. Once again, if I just try to scale in, that's not going to work. That's going to create like a little triangle or a little trapezoid here. Instead, I want to do the same process. So I'm going to extrude, and then I'm just going to click. Extrude, and click without pulling. Don't pull at all. Okay? So now when I scale in, now I've got this nice little platform at the top of my lighthouse, and I can keep extruding. Okay, so we've got the base. The base tapers up to our little platform up here. Now I just need to make the part where the light goes. So to do that, go back to side view. I'm going to extrude again. I'm going to pull straight up. There. That's the glass where our light is going to live. Now, I want to come straight out again because I want to make the roof. I want to have the roof come out to about here. So once again, I'm going to press E to extrude, and I'm just going to click. So don't pull. Anytime we want to make a flat surface, anytime we want to pull straight out to the side, we just press E and click. Now, we can scale this guy out a little bit so it's nice and flat. That looks pretty good. And I'm going to extrude him upwards. So now, I'm not going to worry about making the roof pointy just yet. I just want to extrude this guy to however tall I want the roof to be. So if that's how tall I want it to be, perfect. We're going to use a new tool to get this guy to come to the center. And that tool is called Merge. If we take a look over here at the left, we have an area where we can merge. We also have a shortcut for merge, and I'm going to add it to our shortcuts. In edit mode, we can merge by using Alt plus M. This is merge. What merge does is it takes all of these points and puts them to a single point. So it's going to basically collapse this roof down in the very middle. Now if I come over here, I can see the different options I have. I have at center, which will bring everything to the middle. I have at cursor, which means that wherever this little cursor is, it'll try to merge. Or I have collapse. Collapse will just fold it in on itself. Let's see what at cursor does, just to see how weird that looks. So if I do at cursor, it took all those points and dragged them straight to wherever my 3D cursor is. So it made a point, but it didn't make the point where I want it. So let's try something different. Let's merge at center. Okay? If we merge at center, and I'll zoom in so you can see that, it's going to take all those points and squish them to the middle. Perfect. All of those points now become a single point right here in the center of the lighthouse. And I can move this point, make it taller, make it flatter, whatever I want. But it's a single point now, which is exactly what I need. All right. So I am going to finish up by getting out of edit mode. I'm going to go ahead and smooth this lighthouse. And I'm going to go to my upside down triangle so that I can add a little auto smooth on here. And I'm going to do 60 degrees. So I've got a lighthouse that looks nice and smooth, but it's not smooth in the wrong places. Now we're going to be building on this lighthouse a lot, so we're going to want to make sure that we save this file. I'm going to go save. I'm going to call this lighthouse. Oh, I already have a lighthouse. We'll call this lighthouse 2 and save it. We're going to be using this guy a lot later. So remember, the big new tip in this video is whenever you want to create a flat extrusion, you always extrude and then click without moving anywhere and then scale it outwards. That's how we make flat spots. Extrude without actually pulling and then scale it outwards. Let's see what this looks like in our render. All right, so we can't see it. So you guys would know that in class, that means we pull this guy up a little bit. It's getting better. Pull him up a little more. All right, now let's see what our render looks like. Not bad. So this is what we're going to be working with for some of our future lessons. If you do not have time in class to make one, or if you didn't get this far, there will be a version of this lighthouse available on eBackpack for you to use. In the next video, we'll talk about how we're going to use Boolean editing to add windows.